Welcome to my craft room. This is not my normal setup, and normally I do pop-up cards, I know, but my older son said no matter what you make with your Cricut, film it and put it on your channel. So that's what I'm doing. I made these for years for my son's teachers, but they're all grown up now. And if you've been watching my channel, you know I have a special needs adult son who is also a Special Olympian. So these this year are for his coaches, who are all volunteers. And we want them to know that we really appreciate them. So this is really, really hard for me to show on camera. This glass etching does not show well. So I'm going to move it around a little bit. Maybe you can see it a little better. I don't know. But it's tough to see. Here it is all ready to go. I don't wrap it. I just use ribbon. It holds everything in and it's reusable once you're done. Inside here is Brownie mix frosting, a rubber spatula, a microfiber towel, an oven mitt, and a pot holder, all from Dollar Tree. So let's go make it. Okay, here we are on the canvas. We need to get some images first. So you're going to hit images down here. If you have never looked up images by their code number, everything starts with #M. And your first one from the kitchen is going to be 4005 7FD8. And there it is. Click on that. It puts it down here by add. Once you get all 4 of these images, as you can see, you've got a list right here. Then hit add and it'll put it on your canvas and I'll meet you over there. I'm going to fast forward from here. Okay, here we are on the canvas. This is going to be quick and easy. Here is the tag I used. I made it white and I made it 3 inches tall. So there's your tag, ready to go. First, we need to split this up. And since you see that the ungroup button is not available, we're going to have to slice some of this out. First, you're going to go into shapes, grab a square, and edit, and you're going to unlock your button. All you need is for it to cover your kitchen and of. Once you do that, you're going to grab both of these and hit slice. Boom. That just took these 2 away. Don't need these anymore. We're going to delete, but we're going to have to do it one more time. Grab a square again. Make this as big as you need because we need to take this of off. So now we're going to do it again. We're going to select both, hit slice, and this time we don't want the of at all. So let's take it completely away. Delete. The whisk goes up here. Now, depending on what my last name looked like, who was getting the gift, on some of them, I actually moved this whisk over because I had taller letters where the handle was. We are going to make these into 2 different groups. So I'm going to pull this back and I'm going to bring this up. I want this whisk in the middle. Do you see that purple line? But when I step back and look at it, it doesn't look right, does it? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull it down until it looks right to me. And that looks right there. So I'm going to drag my finger and group. And then I am going to go into edit and make them all the same color. It doesn't matter what color. We're just making a stencil. So now we're going to kind of do the same thing here. Now, this is kind of the same thing, and I don't know if it's because of this font. But look, it also doesn't look like it's in the middle. So I'm going to move this up a little bit and in just a little bit, about right there. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is a handmade gift. Okay, then I'm going to group them together. There we go. This all depends on your name. I will use the desktop name. So you're going to go into text, type out whatever name you need, There we go. Done. Then, of course, you can change it to any font you want. But I used this Baylac font. Do you see that right there? B-A-Y-L-A-C. I'm going to click on it. Then I'm going to put it over here in the middle. So relock your button. And then you're going to pull it up. Let's get it. And now let's look at it from the back. Okay. First, let's get these guys lined up. Let me move this out of the way because it's reading on that. It doesn't matter because you may end up moving it a little bit here and there. But all we're trying to do is get our name in there. Okay, so now I'm going to get this as close to in the middle as I can. Making sure that the H in kitchen and the Y in the name do not overlap each other. Then I'm going to grab all of them. I am going to combine and weld. If you don't weld it together, it's going to come out individually. Okay, so now that I've got this, my size for the entire thing is 8 inches wide. And then I only want it 5 inches tall. So I'm going to unlock this button and make this 5 inches. There, it's 8 inches by 5 inches. And here's your tag. So your stencil is ready to go, except you want to put it on the underneath of the pan. But in order to do that, we've got to mirror it. There's 2 ways you can do that. You can go into edit and then just hit this horizontal. And that way you don't have to worry about it when you're cutting everything out. Go ahead and reverse all the different pans if you're doing multiple ones. Then when you go to make it, there it is. I pulled mine down a little bit so I had more leeway, about 1 inch around. There you go. You're ready. Get this cut out, and then I will meet you over on the craft table and I'll show you how to do the rest. Okay, now I've got my pan. The first thing I need to do is wipe this down with rubbing alcohol. Just regular household rubbing alcohol, nothing fancy. But it gets all of any, oils or anything. Because we need to get everything stuck really, really good. Because we don't want this etching cream to go underneath what we have. Okay, now we need to get this put on. Let me show you the best way to do this. I am going to go into this corner. Oh, still got a piece of iron. I got an E stuck on me. Okay, and I'm going to lift up this corner. I'm also going to lift up this corner of the vinyl away from its paper. Okay, you see that? And then I'm just going to diagonally pull it. Slow. And I'm going to watch right along here, this white paper, to make sure that I'm not leaving any, middle of E's or whatever behind. And there you go. Okay, there's 2 different ways that you can do this. It depends on how well you can see your stuff. And you can see mine is really close to the bottom here. And I'm going to show you, I did that on purpose because I want to show you something. Okay, let me get my pan. Now, you can do this. You can use the writing, whichever one you want. Whichever one you use, it's going to have writing on the bottom. And that will help you keep it straight. I'm going to look side by side. Okay, this is only one way. If you don't think you can do it this way. Okay, so you can either do it where you set the dish down, or you can do it like this. This is a little difficult for me because I can't see, because the camera's in the way. I know that the name is right in the middle. So if I get the middle of the name in the middle of the handles, okay, I'm going to put my fingers where the middle of my letter is. Oh, I'm trying not to stick it. And then I'm going to line that up in the middle of my pan. Make sure I've pretty much got it the same distance. Again, this is a pan. Nobody's going to look at it that close. And whoever you give it to is going to be so thrilled to have a pan with their name on it. They're not even going to pay any attention. Okay. Okay. Especially on this whisk, I'm going to really push down here because all these little pieces any of these that have a middle, the E, the O, the H's, anything like that, I'm going to smoosh down a little bit extra. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to do this the same as we did a minute ago. I'm going to pull it diagonally, and I'm going to watch very carefully. If you have even one little piece peel up, you have to fix that before you continue on peeling off your transfer tape. Just up, see? This is exactly what I was talking about. And you know why it's lifting up there? Because those raised letters, those raised Anchor Hocking letters are right there. There we go. And I'll be able to go back and fix that. Okay. Okay, we're just doing it slow. Just keep going slow. Now, here's your big part right here. Are these whisk pieces going to stay? See? Let me make sure that I'm getting, that's the problem. This is so sticky, aren't going to stay. Here, I got to get a little bit more of this one. See? See all these guys? I'll tell you what. I'm going to do it the other way. Aha! Look, it's doing it the other way. I think because this was close to this writing, I think that's where I had my problem. So, I am going to go this way. Again, slow, slow, slow. Here we go. Okay, now the rest of it's stuck. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. Okay, let's flip it over and look at its spacing. And look how good it looks. It's right in the right spot. Okay, now we've got to make sure all the edges of everything, okay, is really, really sticking as hard as we can. Now, I save my expired Starbucks cards. And so it helps just a little bit. I don't think you can see this, but I kind of want to show you this. The vinyl has like a little bubble right here along this edge. Well, that's going to let this etching cream get down in there, and it's going to mess it up. So what we need to do is go around every single letter, around the edges. Now, as far as this raised writing, we're not going to mess with that just right now. Now, you want to make sure all of your insides of your letters, right? Like the inside of your E and your H. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I'm not doing it up and down. I am like sliding them along. Why? Because if I do it up and down, I'll snag on something like the middle of this R. Okay, I need to fix my whisk because they got a little bent. Okay, got my whisk fixed. Okay, mine looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go over all of my edges one more time. Just to make sure. Okay. You cannot even drop a single tiny little drop of this etching cream on your glass, because it doesn't matter how fast you wipe it up, it's still gonna etch. So now, before we put the etching cream on, this is what we need to do. You can use painter's tape, okay, and then I have some scrap copy paper. Okay, look. I put a piece of painter's tape on the long side of the sheet, and now I'm just going to make a mask for all of this so I don't get straight. Oh, hold on. Mine is so close to the bottom. I guess I shouldn't have cut it that close, huh? Okay, there's one. We're going to do all four sides. Hey, now we've got it all masked off. We've got everywhere that we don't want pinned down. Okay, this is Armour Etch. This is a really big jar, and you can use it over and over and over again. So this thing's lasted me for years. But you can get if you're only doing one pan, just get the small thing. Okay, I'll always use a disposable knife and this poor, sad, beaten up spatula that's not good for the kitchen anymore. Now, I'm not going to really touch the vinyl. or anything, okay? I'm not going to touch it. So, and I am just going to kind of gently daub this on. I'm not touching the vinyl because I don't want to dislodge any of those little pieces. Okay, so, and then if I drag it somewhere, I'm still not touching the vinyl. I'm just running it over the very top of all this liquid. Okay, and it doesn't matter how much you use. I always use a bunch because I know I'm going to scrape it back off and put it back into my container. Okay, again, I am barely touching the surface of the liquid. Okay, I'm not touching the vinyl at all. And do you see this right here? That would have made a mark on my pan. No matter how quick I saw it or how quick I wiped it off, it's going to leave a mark. Now, you can kind of see these little pieces in mine. Those are kind of the dried pieces that are around your lid. And they get in there because you're going to scrape this off and put it back into your bottle. So, about halfway through, I'm going to use either the pick I just showed you or a toothpick, or it doesn't matter. Just something small. Here's a little tool. And then I'm going to go through here and I'm going to stir it back up again to make sure all, you know, there might be a bubble. I'm just kind of agitating this a little bit. I am touching the vinyl here, but very, very lightly. I just want to make sure if there's any bubbles that helps them get out. Okay, now we wait 10 minutes. Okay, we're back. Okay, it's time to start taking it off. There's two ways you can go about this. You can just take your knife. Hold on, let me get it sort of clean. And we're just going to gently, because remember, if you dislodge any of your vinyl, you're not going to have enough time to wash it off. Okay? And this is going to take a few minutes. This might be a little easier, this poor chewed up guy. Okay, look, I've got as much as I can off. First, I'm going to take this Kleenex. I'm going to wipe off this right here because I don't want it to get on anything else. And I want this kind of not clean, but, you know, sort of clean because I'm getting ready to set it down on my next pan. So I'm going to get it a little bit cleaned up, and then I'm just going to take it off in one big piece. Now, all you got to do is wash it off. But let me warn you, so you don't panic. After you wash it off and it's wet, it's not going to show up very well. It's going to look like it didn't work or that it's really, really pale. But once it dries, it will turn the white color. So, okay, now he needs to be dried off. I am going to look very closely. Make sure I don't have any blank spots. So I kind of want it dry so I can see. It's wider so I can see it better. So I'm going to look very closely. It's almost easier if you have the light shine through it because you can see better. And mine looks good. Hey, here is our moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Okay. Ooh, that looks like a good thing, doesn't it? Okay. Now, and again, it's going to be, if some of it's wet still, it's not going to be super white. If you have any aggression, this is a great way to get it out. If you had a bad day at work, come peel some vinyl. Okay, there we go. I am going to go wash this real quick. Go wash yours. Don't forget that this is going to disappear once it gets wet. And look what you made. I put the black background on here just so you guys could see it easier. Hopefully yours has turned out just as good. I'm so happy. So next we're going to wrap it. But first, let's make a bow. I'm going to leave a few inches for a tail. And then I'm going to make a loop. Make sure that my tail is coming out of the middle. Okay. Then I'm going to twist it. There we go. So the right side color. And then we're just going to make some loops. Every time that you come to the back, you're going to twist it so your pretty colors show. See? Then you're going to make one loop on each side that is about the same size as your middle loop that you already have. You see that? Just like a bow you'd put in a little girl's hair. Now, we're going to make 2 more on each side, a little bit longer than those first ones. And you're just going to keep doing the same thing. Just make a loop a little bit longer. Do you see that? Okay. Twist. Hold on. Let me get some more ribbon run here. Then another loop about the same amount, bigger. Then twist. There we go. One more loop on either side, the same size as the one that you just made. There we go. And there's another one. There. Now, you see how both of your ends are coming out of your middle? That's what you want. Now, I got a big, long, one of those long pipe cleaners. Any wire will do, even like a garden trash bag twist tie. That'll work too. Okay, so now I'm just going to wind this through, put it right through the middle, and then I'm going to make it really tight. So hopefully the only thing on this gift they can that is tying these guys to each other is this. Oh, there we go. You've got your tie on the back. Let's cut another little, doesn't have to be perfect right this second. There we go. There's your bow. Now, let's fluff up the middle. Here, let's make sure that this tie, look, mine is not turned around real good. There we go, just like that. That's the nice thing about wired ribbon, is that it will listen to you and stay where you put it, okay? Now, you're gonna pull both of these and both of these out. So, let's do your one closest to the middle first. We're just gonna kind of make it pretty. Then this one, it'll be easier for us to fine tune it once we have it on the package, but we can do a little bit here. Okay, there you go. You can choose what you want to put in there. I do brownies and frosting. Okay. Together, these two are about $2.50. I got this at the dollar store. And all of the, a microfiber towel, a small pot holder, and an oven mitt. So I'm just going to pile all of them on top. Okay. Now you are going to need about 6 feet of your ribbon. Okay. So let's find the halfway. And I am going to fold it. Okay. You see that? Just going to crimp it a little bit just so I know where the halfway point is. Okay, now we're going to do it this way. You're going to lay it on top with your midpoint that you just made right in the middle. Okay, then you're going to take one side. Let's put it underneath. It's hard for me to do this and show you at the same time, so that's what we're working on. And then I'm just going to pull it till it's tighter. There we go. Then this one, let's put it under. Now, you see how we have them coming out? How I have them coming out on opposite sides? Hold on. I need to get mine put back in the middle. There we go. Just like that. And I'm going to put it down pretty tight because if you do this right, you don't have to wrap it. Okay, now, each one of these is going to pass over and go that way. Whichever way is over your ribbon. This way it catches on the back. Okay, there we go. Now, then you're going to bring these up. And yeah, I made mine 7 feet just in case it wasn't long enough. So you should have about this much left. Okay, so we're going to do this. And I'm just going to twist it twice. Okay, and then leave my tails out. Now, some of this, the measurements depend on how long your handles are. We're not going to do anything but just leave this here. Then with our bow that we made, I'm going to catch both this and this underneath ribbon. So I'm gathering them all up in with this wire. Okay. So I'm going to slide this under here, under both. There we go. Let me grab it. Okay. Now I've got one side. Okay. Let me see if I can turn this to show you. Can you see that? Okay. I got both of our wrapping ribbons and my bow ribbon all caught up into this one pipe cleaner. And then I'm going to twist it a little bit. This way, if you're there when you give it to them, you can just tell them, hey, there's just one thing underneath here that you need to twist. Then they can use all of this ribbon and this bow again. Because I am all about less waste. Okay, now you've got your four tails here. So I'm gonna cut these off even with my stripes. Okay, just like that. And this one. Get it through the wire. And then we'll get the bow all fixed up, and then I'll show you how I attach the tags. I just used some plain tags that Cricut has. There we go. Okay, now let's get our bow all fixed up pretty. Okay, and you're just gonna kind of push these loops in, okay? And if you should be able to cover any of that pipe cleaner that you used. And here, let me bring this one up. There we go. And look at that pretty bow you've got. Man, you are doing good. I have these. These are just some plain tags that Cricut has. I'll write to the coaches that I'm giving this to. And then I'm going to take this and an old cookie cutter I had. You can either use another pipe cleaner, or I've got baker's twine. So I'll show you the baker's twine here real quick. And I'm just cutting a little piece, and you can use curly ribbon if you want. So I'm going to put it through my cookie cutter and my tag. And let's see, where do I want the front? I think I want the front on this side. And you see this kind of empty spot right here in my bow? Right, see? That's where I'm going to put it. So you're just going to go just like this. Do you see that? Okay. And I am going to tie it up right here where you can see the cookie cutter and the tag. There we go. And I'm just going to make a knot, and then I will cut off the excess. Of course, if you need a really cute pop-up Christmas card, I've got a bunch of them on my channel. So there you go. There's you a quick and easy and inexpensive gift that anybody's going to love.